Hello everybody and welcome back once again to my exploration of the Conjuration perk tree using the Ordinator perk overhaul. Alright, here's Connor. He's looking pretty wicked, isn't he? A lot different than he was just a few episodes ago. Okay, so I think our first order of business this episode is to take a look at these perks, see what we want to take, and see what we still have left to do. Alright, so I think right off the bat we're going to start in this branch and we're just going to take these three. So Revel in Battle, Defiance increases melee weapon damage by 3% for 10 seconds, which stacks. So every time we get hit, we're going to gain 15 points of armor through this Defiance perk for 10 seconds, and that stacks. But now, as part of that, with this perk, we are going to gain 3% weapon damage for that 10 seconds as well. Which is great for a tanky character. Now Bedrock, if you're wearing all heavy armor, you have 20% chance to brace for impact when attacked by an enemy, becoming immune to stagger for 4 seconds. I don't like being staggered, so we're going to go ahead and take that. And then, if wearing all heavy armor, take 30% less attack damage from power attacks. Now, I think I've decided not to kind of follow this rallying standard stuff. This Doombringer perk over here is really great for us because it improves destruction spell damage and effects by 15%, but our lightning cloak has been really inconsistent on when it pops out with this armor. So I'm not banking on it being around. I'm probably even going to remove it from Okado's recital. So I'm not going to bother with it. Immortal, even this one would help us free up an enchantment slot on our helmet. We wouldn't have to take that cheat death enchantment anymore, but I don't mind taking that. I really don't know what else I would put on the helmet anyway, except for maybe some Conjuration, Fortify Conjuration, but I'm doing just fine with letting my Magicka regenerate before casting more minions. It's fine. And then, of course, this one, this elemental damage reduction, it's only going to give us like 6% at the most, so not bothering with that one either. Okay, so what's next here? Lead the Tempest. I'm also not going to worry about this one. I'm not sprinting enough in combat to make use of it. And honestly, with the battles that we were in last episode, I really don't think I need it. Everything was very smooth. I did have that one point where I had to heal up a little bit, but that was expected, and I actually don't mind doing that now and then. Face of Death we don't need because we're going to be wearing the helmet the whole time. Alright, so I think that just about does it for these perks over here. Let's take a look at this left branch. Now, Battle Weary I'm not too into, but we have to take it in order to get these next ones. Heavy armor weighs half as much and slows you down half as much when worn. So this is going to speed us up, and it's going to give us some more encumbrance points to work with, which is nice. I'm really more concerned with the movement speed on that one, which is going to be really nice to be able to move a little faster. So now we have 2 perks left. Break Upon Me. This one's nice. While they're bleeding from our battle axe, we're going to be taking 10% less attack damage from them. And we're also immune to all these little weapon perks that the enemy might have. Plus, we have to take this anyway. Now, do I want to take Reap the Whirlwind or Rise Above at this point? Rise Above is going to put us 1 perk closer, 1 level closer to Primal Fear, which I would love to mess around with a little bit. Reap the Whirlwind. This is just going to make us much stronger if we get hit by a power attack in terms of weapon damage. And then it will open up these last 2 perks over here. I would really like to play around with Face of the Mountain, just because it's a fun little effect. I don't know how useful it is in terms of min-maxing and becoming super powerful, but definitely scoring a knockdown is always good and always strong, no matter what kind of character class you're playing. let's do this first. For every enemy within 15%, they're going to lose 5% attack damage, and we're going to gain 5% attack damage. And then we'll be able to take Primal Fear here when we get it, and we can scare some people. Scare the bejesus out of them. Okay, cool. So now we just have to find a dungeon that we haven't taken on yet that we can clear out to sort of help level us up a little bit more. We have a few options here. I have a bounty to kill the leader of Bruka's Leap Redoubt, and I really don't know how big or sprawling this is, but we may as well give it a shot. I can also take on the Forbidden Legend of the Galderson brothers here. We did already clear out Fulganther, but it's still giving me the quest marker there to read that cryptic message, and I thought I already had, but whatever. We only have one more of the Galderson brothers to take on, and that is... I don't remember the guy's name, but he's the most annoying one. He's the archer one that uses the Fusro Da on you and is always putting you on your back, and he has a bunch of clones. It's a super annoying fight, but it's a big enough dungeon that we can take that on. We also have the Shroud Hearth Barrow that we can take on as well, even though that's less of a dungeon crawl and more of just kind of a little story piece. But that's alright. We have some stuff we can take on. Let's, we also have this Dwemer technology mission that, or we could do the White File too. Go take on, Cure All Mill over at, was that the Lost Cave or something like that? Forsaken Cave. Alright, but we have a bounty for Bruka's Leap, so let's start with that. We have stuff we can do, I guess is the long and short of that. Okay, starting at it right away, I guess, huh? It looks like we got our shock cloak up and running as soon as I decided not to take that that perk that was going to boost our destruction damage. Took an arrow to the head, but otherwise we're doing pretty well here. Our damage intake is not too bad, I think. Is there anybody else running around here? No. Oh yeah, I forgot to redo my Okado's Recital stack. Well, I'm kind of glad I didn't at this point because Shock Cloak seems to be working fine now all of a sudden. Oh, minions, man, they're the worst. What? I did just toggle collision there, didn't I? Why is that not working? TCL, right? Oh, you know what it is. Collision is now off. We'll turn that back on. Yeah, I was messing around with some console commands on some items in the world, and it looked like I left something still active, and I toggled clipping on them. Briarheart, Schmeierheart. Okay, so that bounty's done. Got some stuff we can loot here. Okay, so I'm gonna loot the place, and I'll figure out what to do next. Okay, where to next? Where to next? Blah 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 blah. Let's just go ahead and go into Mazincha here. How about that? Hopefully we can get in this way. I'm not sure that we can. Oh yeah. We'll be fine. Lots of bandits to kill too. I like that. Oh, her head came right off. Oh, it was supposed to come off, but it didn't. It can be a little bit of an annoyance when your kill moves don't actually kill the person, but I don't know. I think it's kind of fun to be able to do multiple kill moves on a person over and over again. Alright. Probably got some stuff up in each one of those pillars up there that we can, or the towers that we can loot, but I don't really care too much about that right now. I just want to kill some stuff. Storm Thrall took made quick work of that regular old bandit there. One zap and he was dead. Bandit Thug is very well equipped though. Alright, once we get a dead spot here, enemies are still nearby. Once we get sort of away from the enemies here, I'm going to redo my Okado's Recital stack. Because Lightning Cloak wasn't working before, now it is. It's just really inconsistent, and that's kind of bothering me, even though it really shouldn't. And there we got a beheading. You know I love a good beheading. Oops, I meant to take the fur helmet. I don't know why I'm bothering taking all this stuff. Okay, moving on, moving on. Can't help myself sometimes. Keys are helpful. Let's see, should I try this door first and then we'll go on to the rest of the place? Ooh, there's a skill book. What do we got? Speech? Sure, I'll take it. Ooh, and now I can redo Okado's Recital here. Okay, so let's do a couple things while we're at it. Let's go ahead and level up and we'll take some perks. We have 3 to mess around with now, which is nice. Let's see. Reap the Whirlwind. We did want to take Primal Fear here. We'll mess around with that a little bit. Just got to remember to walk into battle instead of run into battle, and we'll see if we can get people to flee in terror. Alright. After struck by a power attack or power bash, our attacks deal 125% more damage to the attacker for 5 seconds. And Sovereign. When struck by an attack, subsequent attacks are deflected if wearing all heavy armor, and you take 75% reduced damage from attacks for 1 second. That'll just help us from for dealing with the bomb rushes. Okay, and then sort of the ultimate heavy armor perk up there. So I think for this episode we're going to level up until we can take this perk, and then we'll do one more dungeon clear with that to see if we can get it to proc or activate. And that's about all we'll need from heavy armor, and then we can start moving on to archery and the bound bow. Okay, so now I wanted to redo Okado's recital, so let's do that now. Okay, so Okado's recital goes in the right hand. Ebony Flesh will go in the left. Oh wait, nothing will go in the left at first. So we'll clear out the stack this way. Boom. Alright. So now we'll put Ebony Flesh in the left hand. We'll put King's Heart in the second slot here. And then I gotta figure out something for the third and final slot there. I guess I don't have to come up with something, but... Soul Cloak. Yeah, there's still just another cloak that might interfere with the flame shield effect that we have already. I don't know. Anybody have any ideas? I sure don't. Let's see here. Okay, so for the third and final slot, I decided to go with Sotha's Maelstrom here. So what this does is it will emit radiation that reduces the magic resistance of nearby enemies within 20 feet by 5% per second, up to 100%, and it lasts 370 seconds. So this will just help weaken magic resistance of our enemies. Not that we are doing too much magic energy, or I'm sorry, magic damage by ourselves anymore, except other than the Spell Scribe ability that we have hooked up to our power attacks, which is definitely going to be a nice synergy, but also because our minions can make use of it. Especially because I think that the Dremora Lords wield enchanted greatswords, and of course you know about the elemental damage by the Atronach there. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. Let's continue, shall we? Oh, what's going on in here? Okay, so far so good. Getting peppered with arrows. No problemo. Kind of like the effect of this Sotha's Maelstrom tier 2. It's kind of a cool little wicked halo thing going on. I like it. It's kind of a cool, cool aesthetic, I think. Oh, wait a minute. Did my intangibility work there? That's not supposed to work, is it? Let's just check real quick. That spider's attack went right through us, it looked like. Distorted shape. When you gain an armor spell in combat or enter combat with an active armor spell, you become intangible. Oh crap. No, you don't even have to have a robe for that. Well, that is a major weakness that doesn't even exist then. That was one of the major drawbacks of taking on armor, is that distorted shape was not going to work. But it looks like it does. When you gain an armor spell in combat or enter combat with an active armor spell, you become intangible and unable to be affected by spells or attacks for 10 seconds or until you perform an offensive or defensive action. So it's just the mage armor perk that is affected by not wearing armor. And so is this energy shield thing. But distorted shape works just fine. Okay, so that is a major con that we can cross off for wearing armor. I did not know that. Interesting. Okay, that's an exciting piece of information. I was just mistaken this whole time. So yeah, that was probably the biggest major con of wearing armor as opposed to just robes. Cool. So yeah, folks, feel free to wear armor. You just have to take the mage armor perk anyway to get distorted shape, so that's kind of a throwaway perk that you have to be okay tossing, but distorted shape honestly is worth 2 perk points in my opinion. Let's just level up some heavy armor here. Yeah, it's barely hurting us at all, and King's Heart's just healing us right up anyway. That's right. Power leveling at its finest. I guess there we were actually lucky that our minions didn't come save us. Okay, so save it up, and we're gonna see what we can get here. Back in the heavy armor skill tree. I think we only had the one perk left to take that we had planned on taking, and this is the fun one, where if we get hit with a power attack, it'll bounce them back. And I'm a poet and didn't know it. Of course, the mere fact that I called it out means that I did know it. So my statement was inaccurate. Oh, you guys, you love your doorways, don't you? Good Lord. Okay, something tells me I'm confused here. It's alright. Deal with me here for just a minute. Oh, there we go. It's this damn valve we were looking for the whole time. Okay, I think that lowered all the gates once we got that valve, so we are free to proceed. Thank you for bearing with me. Further into the depths, and more opportunities to test out that last perk. Okay, Falmer are happy to do power attacks as long as they are wielding a melee weapon, which this one is. So let's see if my minions allow him to stay alive. Nah, they won't. Oh, that was a strange noise. Ah, there we go. Got him. Cool. Wow, what happened there? Sounded like somebody did that thing where they stretched the nozzle out on a balloon and let it kind of like whine as it deflates. That's what it sounded like to me anyway. Or maybe that's just what it sounds like when Falmer fart. Well, he didn't fly back that time, but he did fall. And you can see how this might be a helpful perk, right? Oh, there he goes. I forgot to be walking through here, but it looks like it worked fine. Not gonna scare the Charis Hunter, I guess. Even though it would have been in his best interest to be scared. You guys got it? Alright. Okay, quarters are getting a little tight here, so probably best to switch to first-person view so our camera doesn't end up getting embedded in the side of a wall or something. Alright, it's opened up back now. So we can pull it back a little bit. Okay. So we weren't able to scare them that time. Ebony Mall. That looks pretty cool. Okay, where to? So this ended up being pretty good, I think. We were able to get the remainder of our heavy armor perks all in this episode, and we're able to illustrate what each does. Pretty cool, I think. So I think next episode we'll be able to focus on archery. And then after that, I think we'll be just about done with this series. I said within 5 episodes last time. But I think it might be closer to 2 or 3. Including this one. And then I just have the unenviable task of compiling all of this knowledge into one concise video guide. Why is this one harder than the Master Lock I picked just a few minutes ago? Oh my god. Dying over here. There we go. Finally. Okay. Okay, so... Why did we come here? Oh yeah, it was the Dwemer technology thing. We had to find a Dwemer cube. The blood Dwemer cube. And that's over this way. I don't know if there's any more stuff to fight, but... There's definitely a cube to be found here somewhere. Need to go back up these stairs, back up around, and follow this path. It looks like. Can I get in here somehow? Looks like there's got to be a switch or a lever or something to throw somewhere to get in there. Anything? You know what could help us out is some night vision. God, I feel like I'm gonna get trapped in here now. Back up. There we go. Got through it. Yeah, I thought there was a lever or something right around this fountain that opened this up, but I must be mistaken. There are Falmer on the other side there. How do I open this thing up? I don't remember. Gotta be a lever around here somewhere. It's probably staring me right in the face and I can't see it for some reason. Hey, can you guys just like let me in? Suppose that was never gonna work, but it was worth a try. Ah, here we go. And that opened up. Alright. Alright. Jesus, Frosty. It's like he stops right in the doorway. Just a little bit past the doorway or a little bit in front of the doorway and it'd be fine, but they have to stop right in the middle of the doorway every single time. It's unbelievable. Alright, you disgusting bastards. So, it does look like it was the lightning cloak that was interfering with our distorted shape. Because distorted shape is firing every single time now. Whereas it wasn't before. And I think it was because of the lightning cloak being counted as an offensive action, nullifying distorted shape. Okay, where are we going? Where are we going? Guess we're going in here. Of course, another lock to pick. There we go. These Dwarven Centurions often have some of the best loot in the game on them. Always worth looting them. Now, where am I off to? Where am I off to? Alright, we came in through there, so let's continue on through here. This also looks promising in that, well, there's the map marker right there. Let's take the HUD off. I just like it better with it off. Oh, and then we have a Centurion fight, which should be no big deal, especially now that we have distorted shape working reliably. We'll let all of our Atronachs take the heat, and we'll find a way in here. Easy, so easy. Okay, I guess we don't need night vision anymore. Kind of forgot I had that on, actually. And another Grand Soul Gem, that's always excellent. Grimsever is Mjol the Lioness's weapon in Riften, so she'll like to have that back. Once we give her that back, she will be an available follower for us, but I don't know that I really need to do that with her. Alright, now we are looking for some switches to open this thing up so we can get that Dwemer puzzle cube out of there. Let's see. Alright, that's the exit, it looks like. And this is a key into Blackreach. Not interested. How the heck are we going to get in there? I feel like there were a couple switches in here to open these gates, but I'm not seeing them. And they're just narrow enough that Connor's skinny butt can't fit through it. Something not fire? Were they supposed to, was that gate supposed to open when I killed these guardians? It's been so long since I've done this dungeon. I can't remember. Oh, there's one of them. Oh, jeez, that was so obvious. I feel like an idiot. Okay, there we go. There's that Dwemer cube. Some other nice enchantments on some of this stuff. I'll take it. And this looks like the way out. Excellent. Okay, so I think that does it for this episode, right? We were able to... Oh, looks like we leveled up again. We were able to obtain enough perks to be able to fill out the heavy armor tree the way we wanted. And we're able to take the rest of the perks, including Face of the Mountain and Primal Fear, and we were able to illustrate those a little bit too. So that was fun. That's really nice. So next episode, I think we will be focusing on archery. So we're going to take on the bound bow. We'll be using that instead of our bound battle axe. We're still going to be having the same... we're not going to make any changes to the band, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say here. Where'd that archery tree go? I know I just passed it up. So it's pretty much going to be business as usual, just instead of using a bound battle axe, we're going to be using a bound bow. And we're going to be trying to keep our distance a little bit. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to be using the heavy armor or the robes. Probably just stick with the heavy armor because why not? We don't have to make another change. But I am going to have to re-enchant some of that gear, particularly the boots and the gauntlets, which means having Yorland upgrade them again. But yeah, should be fun. So 1 or 2 more episodes, I think, and then we can close out this series, which will be nice to be able to move on. And then we have Chemical Whispers coming up shortly. I'm just finishing up playing up to the point where Alcunil crafts the potion of embracing and accidentally turns himself into a vampire, which is kind of pivotal to the rest of the story. But we'll see how that all pans out. Once I get to that point, then I can start recording some much needed footage for some of the cinematics that are going to introduce that character, which should be out probably, if things go really well, by the end of next week. If they don't go that well, I am going to be out of town the following week. So maybe 2 or 3 weeks down the line, which sounds like forever. So I'm going to be trying to get that in this week for sure. Okay, but I think that does it for this episode. Heavy armor is viable, as we've seen. And especially if we have distorted shape. Oh, jeez. Wow, I didn't even have to do any work on that ice wraith at all, did I? Oh, and now they're fighting. Fire and ice. Go figure. Typical. Anyway, I was just getting ready to say goodbye. Oh, jeez, that's distracting. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. 2 more episodes left, maybe 1 if we can get everything, if we can squeeze everything into 1. But regardless, I hope you take care of yourself, and I will see you next time. Bye.